to serve. But in those days, it wasn't as easy for women to get into the military, of course.
It wasn't easy, but Helen had proudly earned her spot. After getting her bachelor's degree in 1952, she enlisted in the Air Force as part of the 26th Air Division Defense during the Cold War.
I loved the Air Force. I really loved the Air Force. It was fun, it was exciting.
But then, in 1955, Airman Second Class Helen James was targeted by military officials for her sexuality.
I found out as it went on that we were being watched. We were being followed. They were looking for homosexuals. So then we became worried, scared.
Soon after, she was arrested in her barracks and interrogated for hours.
The questions were nasty. The questions were uncomfortable. They asked questions about my sister, my friends, my mother, after many, many hours of grilling. I said, write down anything you want and I'll sign it. Because they threatened to go to my home, to go to my parents, to go to my friends. And I couldn't take this shame to them.
Helen was a lesbian, but in 1955, she was not open about her sexuality. In fact, her entire life, she hid it from her parents and siblings, all of whom have now passed.
I couldn't tell them. It was a stain on my family to be put out of the United States Air Force that I loved so much, and I loved my country. And I was told that I was a security risk to the country.
Helen was kicked off the base and out of the military. Her discharge papers labeled her undesirable, meaning she would get no severance pay, no health insurance, no veteran benefits.
Did it totally.
For over 62 years, she has lived quietly with the shame of her undesirable discharge, until a lawyer with the nonprofit group Legal Aid at Work heard about Helen's story and offered to help.
You can't help but imagine yourself in her shoes, a young woman enlisting in the Air Force, trying to serve as her family had served, and then to be so unjustly harassed and persecuted.
In January, they sued the U.S. Air Force, and it took only a few weeks for the military board to respond with a decision.
They were going to FedEx it to me. And so I called two friends and said, you know, I need somebody to be with me when this comes.
Inside that envelope, Helen's vindication. 6 decades later, the Air Force Board acknowledging the existence of an injustice, issuing Helen an honorable discharge effective immediately.
I'm still processing this. Sometimes I feel like I can fly. I mean, I feel so relieved. It's wonderful. And hope that my story will encourage women and men to come forward and take care of themselves. They have a right.
Rights for which one is never too old to fight.
Right? Much love to Helen. We will be right back.